I'm making plays. I'm making hits. I'm making plays. I never miss. Haters gon' hate. Yeah, they gon' hate. But look at the clips. Just look at the clips. At the end of the day, I was made for this shit. Dog, I was made for this shit. Nothing but green grass in my view. Hit him for 50 yards up the middle. All of my rushes are ready to move. Tell your quarterback, head on the swivel. Came all this way, so we hungry as hell. If we ain't winning, we ain't leaving the field. Overtime, now the shit getting real. Double overtime, shoot for the kill. I put it all on my shoulders. Give 100 till it's over. All of this ice in my veins, tell me, how could there be anyone colder?
Yo, what's good, Chiefs Kingdom? We are back. Episode 21, Arrowhead PM. As always, we are powered by Chiefs Kingdom. I'm your host, DG. I got my dog, my boy, my Spaces teammate in here, Trizzy Triz.
What's good,
And
my dog?
yeah, man, Super Bowl has come and gone, and the Chiefs suffer a devastating loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. 40, what was it, 40, 22?
They brought that belt.
Yeah.
Word of the story is they brought out that belt,
Yeah. Chiefs take belt to ass.
which
In
is
the biggest
crazy.
game of the year.
Let me just say this, bro. We lost the game. Let me remind you real quick. First of all, Patrick Mahomes has more Super Bowls and playoff wins than most of your organizations combined. That's the first thing. Second thing is there hasn't really been another AFC guy to win the championship in the AFC except for Patrick Mahomes. Who was the last guy to win the championship in the AFC Super Bowl?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow didn't go to the Super Bowl. Oh, he did. He go to the Super Bowl, but he didn't win.
No, he didn't win.
Okay. Houston Texans, we ended your season almost repeatedly. The Bills, you're 0-4, the first team in playoff history to lose to a team 4 times in a row. The Ravens, you are a shell of yourselves in the playoffs, and I don't think that we have to talk much about that. So with that being said, yeah, we lost the game. It was horrible, like from start to finish. I'm not understanding. I guess we had our concerns with obviously Thuney going to tackle and Caliendo. We knew he would struggle, and obviously you could see that with the run efficiency and just he wasn't as good. But I mean, they took that boy to the shed. They took that boy to the shed. I mean, he was lost out there. Uh, Patrick, we didn't. The payment didn't go through this Sunday, man. Payment didn't go through. I don't know who card they put it on.
Yeah.
That's what y'all like to throw out, man. I've seen a couple questionable calls to keep that Philadelphia drive going, but other than that, man, it was just a total failure and complete. Just, I didn't even know if we came to the game. Like,
Nah.
I never seen that. Like, not in that stage, not in that moment, not when everything matters. I seen this team with a blink of the eye just fix it. So that was just shocking to see from like not only just like a Chiefs fan, but just a football fan in general. When you turn on the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, the Eagles, that's not what you expecting to watch. Just it was 40-6 at one point, and I'm just like, I could not believe it, man. But shout out to Philadelphia. Shout out to Vic Fangio, man. I know that the defense can't get an MVP award, but I mean, we gave them 17 points off the rip. We got the ball, 3 and out, stopped Saquon, moved the ball once on the run, 3 and out. And then after that, it was just like pick six was crazy. Then right after a pick six, you throw another pick right inside of the 20 to 30 yard line. I don't think they had one long drive on offense. Maybe one, like maybe a 60 yard drive, or maybe it was a 55, something like that. Other than that, they had the ball inside of the 40 all night. When we punted the ball, it was horrible.
I
Ariza
believe.
knocking shit out the park all year. Super Bowl, I don't know if the stage was too bright. I'm not sure what was going on, but That was just unlike the Chiefs team I know from start to finish. They showed a little fight at the end with the bomb to Worthy and a couple touchdowns, to Worthy and then Hop. I think Worthy would have had a game if we could have protected. I mean, he was slated for like 200 yards in that game. The game plan was clearly to air the ball out. Didn't agree with that. But it was tough to watch, man. I thought the defense showed up. I thought they did their job. We were right about stopping Saquon, but unfortunately, we were not right about having some type of competency during the game. Like I'm not understanding. We systematically, methodically work our way down the field. Some shots here, some shots there, screen plays here, screen plays there. I seen none of that. I seen none of it. Like I just, I was in complete shock. But again, man, they when you don't have to blitz and they can't protect you. Shout out to Josh Sweat. Shout out to Jay Carter. Shout out to them boys, man. I can't, you know, as much hate as I got in my heart, I gotta give the respect out. They beat us. It's 1-1. I wasn't expecting us to show up like that. So I was popping a lot of stuff, and the Eagles fans let me hear it this week. So gotta get a respect, man. It is what it is. But like I said, man, we'll see y'all in Cali next year, man. I'm not playing around.
Yeah. Looking at this drive chart right now, the Eagles had one drive over 69 yards in the first half. They had another drive that was 12 plays, I think, for 69 yards. Those were their two longest drives of the day. And
One of them
after
ended in
that,
a field goal, right?
yeah, one of them ended in a field goal, the other one ended in a touchdown.
So they really scored 10 points. The defense scored 17 points. To have 17 points just spotted, like here in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
And at
yeah,
some
definitely.
point, I'm just thought we was gonna flip. We never turned the page. Like we didn't even get to the middle of the sentence. We didn't get to a paragraph. I don't think we turned the page all game. Like it was crazy, man. Like I was sick. I didn't talk. I don't think I talked for like 2 days. I didn't talk after the Super Bowl for like 2 days. I'm not even playing. My mama called me. Shout out to mama. Love you,
Yeah,
mom. But she already knew, like, mom, I'm sick. I'm sick.
yeah. This obviously wasn't the expectations that you had. You obviously felt like the Chiefs would be a lot better prepared. That's what was shocking to me, in my opinion. Was like I can handle them losing, but
Yeah,
to just not be prepared at all for
yeah.
or not make any adjustments was just
Unlike
wild to me,
us,
in
yeah.
my opinion. Um,
Unlike us, man. It was a complete meltdown, bro.
yeah,
Not from
complete
not from the
meltdown, utter
defense.
meltdown.
Offensively, defense did their job. We came out, got a pick. Now let's say the offense was humming. Man, like Jalen Hurts really didn't have to do much besides that shot to Jahan Dotson and then the one to Smitty. I mean, like you said, the rest of it was the two drives, and that was really it. Like that's
Yeah,
where the other 17 are. Well, they scored two touchdowns because they got the bomb and they got the one to Well, no, they scored three because AJ got one, but it wasn't a bomb. That was doing the play. So that was one of the
mm,
drives they scored a touchdown on. The other one they kicked the field goal on. And then the other two, those wasn't long drives at all. Those was like three plays, and one of them was a touchdown to Smitty, and the other one was a touchdown to Jahan. So I'm just
yeah,
like, damn, like we if the offense just would have been competent, we could have made it a game, obviously. But I mean, when you can't protect, and shout out to Vic Fangio, they had the game plan well written out. They seen what they seen, and I just I ain't gonna say I didn't feel the fire from the Chiefs, but I didn't feel that. I never felt that like this is that time game. Like
yeah,
for a three-peat, like, and this is how we play, bro. Like so. Shout out to the NFL, man. It's still gonna be hell to pay now. We was gonna take a little break this year, but guess we can't now. NFL
yeah,
said, yeah, no breaks. So we got to get back in the lab. Got to restructure. It's gonna look a lot different next year, but I'm excited for what this offense has the potential to do. Pending that I know we're not quite there yet, but the things I would do for elite left tackle, I'll commit war crimes. I'm not laughing. I'm not joking.
yeah.
Sign me up right now. Call me. What I gotta do to get us an elite left tackle right now, I do it. I'll zip up like the Army, Navy, whatever you need.
Yeah,
Tell me, we get an elite left tackle. They talking about bring Tyreek Hill and all these. I don't care about no receivers right now. We had to play Joe Tooney at left tackle, and that's why we lost the game. We were able to get away with it. The Eagles wasn't letting us get away with it. Long story short.
yeah. I think the biggest story in all this is that from a five man perspective, like the whole offensive line in general just played terrible. Like
Yeah, but when you don't got when it's unsure in the interior, everything else is just bad, which is why I don't understand. I love
why
Andy
there
Reid.
wasn't a different plan.
I love Andy Reid. But how do you turn that game film on and say Carlindo's gonna be all right?
Yeah,
I
just
just
can't.
don't get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bro,
In
we
my
should have
opinion,
put
it
Joe
it
Tony at the guard, and we should have just rocked out with we we won a Super Bowl with Donovan Smith.
yeah,
Come on, man. Like I don't understand, dog. But it's tough, man. As long as we looks like I said, we I'll commit a war crime for a left tackle right now because that's what we really need. I understand the running back, and I'm not saying this guy has to be of nature, but just watching that Super Bowl again and just watching the All 22, when the interior isn't working, you can't work it inside. You know, there's no point of trying to take her back to the crib. You're not getting none, and
yeah,
that's basically what it was. Have a couple nice drinks, send yourself home. Don't even think about, inviting her back to the crib. She's not coming. It's over with.
yeah. Man, it's definitely tough to watch. The plan offensively, just I'm not sure what it was supposed to be. I definitely know that them coming out and lining up in five wide sets and just trying to throw the ball all across the yard when you're facing that kind of vaunted pass rush, and that was a really good pass rush that they were facing.
No
It just
12
didn't,
personnel, no 13.
yeah,
Like,
didn't make sense to me to not especially establish a run. It almost in a sense when they got down about 10-0 that they kind of panicked, and just went to trying to be really stubborn and just trying to get everything back in one play. Then you get that down to 10-0 and you start pressing. Pat throws a pick six, and that to me is when the avalanche just
just
started and
started,
it just
yeah.
couldn't
Yeah,
stop.
it was just after the pick six, I was just like, yeah, this is not good. Okay?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not good. But,
So my question to you is when did it really set in that it's over?
after we came from the fucking halftime and fucking kicked the fucking ball away.
Yeah,
24 to nothing, and we're playing the ball. It's not 4th and 17, bro. We're losing 24 to nothing. You're getting whooped.
yeah.
All we need is one play. Change the game. As bad as it was going, as horrible as you could think it was, you're down
Yeah,
24 to nothing, and you've handed the defense 17 points.
yeah,
So if we can get out here and just come out strong in the second half, march down the field like we've been doing all year, maybe, hey, I'll get in the locker room. Pat, how we feel? Hey, look, we can't block anybody. Code. We can't block any. However he sound, can't block anybody. Reed. All right, let's go back to 12. Let's go back to 13. Noah Gray. It's time to well up. Get the back up. Hinder shot. Hey boys, it's time to well up. We're gonna go back to this. We're gonna go back to that. Worthy, we'll get you back involved. We gotta establish this. We gotta establish that. We didn't do that. So I just, like, what was the plan, Andy Reid? Like, if you're not gonna move Joe 20 back to guard, like, I really want to hear his side of it because I just don't understand that with him being so smart and intelligent, it's not just him being some guru. Like, you have to be intelligent to understand certain concepts about defense that way that Andy Reid does. And I know him watching that film is just like I know he felt much better about Thuney being a guard. So I really want to hear his explanation about that because that just doesn't make sense to me, especially since Joe Thuney just made the fucking All Pro list for being a guard. But
yeah.
I know Andy Reid's a smart guy, but I just would like to hear why that wasn't a thing. But going back to that game again, like coming out of halftime, I'm like, you know what? As bad as this shit is, it could get worse.
Oh,
So
they
I
got worse.
seen it get worse, And I'm like, we come out halftime, we might be talking money. You know what I'm saying? We down 24-7 at that point. You still down three scores, but your defense is playing well. You put them in a couple bad positions in the first half. They gave up some points. Whoop de doo. Come back out, get it. You get them hype. Now Chris Jones and them boys, they ready. All right, patting them back. Okay, let's make some plays. Let's get them the ball back. None of that happened. So, we came out and punted the ball, and I pretty much lost it after that.
Yeah, for me, it was probably mm, the Zach Bond pick.
It was for sure over after that. After they got the ball back, and then he bombed us like three
Yeah.
plays. I'm just like,
Oh
damn,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah, was 34. Once it was 34, yeah, you knew
Yeah, it was over with
this is
after
a wrap.
that.
The Zach Bond pick though kind of was a gut check, and you was like, damn, I don't know if they can possibly.
Yeah,
I've seen them do it before. They
but
can
it's a
possibly
different team,
overcome
bro.
this.
But the way that they was stopping Saquon, bro, was just like I didn't even think they was gonna do that. Saquon couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't doing anything. So for them to be like, man,
Yeah, I think defensively the game plan was fine. I thought
fine.
Spags
Besides Ward getting, I mean, not Ward. Goddamn, I was just thinking about we need a reunion with him. I was thinking about that. We need to get him on a 1 year, 2 year, bring him back home. He done been through a lot. He need to be back with us, and he a better player than Watson. I'm being truthfully honest. You know what? This brings me back to my point. Some of you guys, were criticizing me about the Stephon Gilmore stuff, and rightfully so. For the first couple weeks, he played well, got hurt. After that, you know, we were pretty much third and whatever. Just call it a 1st and 10. We were bad on third downs. Why? Because we could not cover. Because why? We didn't depend. Let me tell you something, Veach. We got Patrick Mahomes. We got Chris Jones. We got Travis Kelsey maybe next year, maybe for another year. I don't think Kelsey is going to go out like that. But spend the money, Veach. Spend the money, Veach. Spend the money, Veach. We gotta get back, Beach. We gotta take advantage. Pat's almost 30. It's time for him to start getting into his prime. He's still the best in the league, but he's gonna need help. And you know what helps? An offensive line helps Beach. A left tackle helps Beach. My dog. Appreciate you in advance. You my dog. I know you're gonna get it done. And I can't wait to everybody is hating on Rasheed Rice for only getting 4 games. Um, and then the show is gonna be right back on the road, but we just gotta sit with that L for a minute, man. It hurts. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely tough loss. But it's like I said, I think that in my opinion, this is a good thing for the Chiefs. Um,
Great thing.
every time they've taken a devastating loss or something of this nature,
They
um,
revamped.
they rebound. They rebound. They figure it out. They uh,
They
they
find something
change.
that's working. Not
Yeah.
only for they find something that's working, that's trending them upwards. It's not like when that cover two shell came out, we were the first like team that really were higher powered to kind of like go into a systematic like where people didn't think we could do that because the
Mhm.
question was we lost Tyreek without the explosive plays. How do you guys move down the field? We answered those questions early. We started to model that because a lot of people talk about Patrick Mahomes being a dink and dunk guy and all this other stuff and yeah yards after catch. They're not allowing Patrick Mahomes to throw the ball deep.
No.
That is what the two shell is for, guys. They were not playing two shell when they first got introduced to Patrick Mahomes, and that's why he was tearing they ass up. Now you go back and watch film and you say, we can't get this guy opportunities, consistent opportunities to see our coverage and blow one over the top every time. That's exactly what he was doing. Just go back to his first couple years in the league. He was absolutely like I never seen nothing like that before. And I believe that he hasn't lost any of that. I just think that the way he has to change his play style is different now. And, the Super Bowl was just not one of his best days. And, I think that going forward is definitely a good thing for the Chiefs. It taught us about, this offensive line thing that we had going on all season. And then also, again, being able to revamp for the future. Because whether we won or not, we were still going to have to, still going to have to be different. Whether we get the three-peat, whether we don't, it was still going to have to be a left tackle. It was still going to have to be certain positions were just always holes that we had. It's just that we've been winning so consistently that some of those holes have been covered up. Good teams, teams across the league have holes. And I think some of the best coaches in the league do a great job of kind of like emphasizing weaknesses and then understanding counters. And I think for the most part, we've been able to do that because we've had elite players in certain positions, and I think we have to continue that trend. But I also think that we have to go a little younger on certain sides of the ball in certain positions, which I think we will. I think we've rock solid with Xavier Worthy and Rasheed Rice. That future is super super bright. Think about those two guys and what they've done. I know this is only Xavier Worthy's rookie year, but if you compare that to a lot of rookie years in Chiefs Kingdom or just around the league, especially this year, he had like 11 touchdowns. He had three in the playoffs. He was the leading receiver in the playoffs. Hello? He's a rookie. So I believe a guy named Rasheed Rice did something similar his rookie year and his first time in the playoffs. Rasheed just got to, he got that ring last time he suited up. I can't wait to get you back, folk. It's over. I can't wait to get you back, folk. But when those two link up, and I think, we'll see what Jerry Wiley is, but I think they have to obviously be thinking about adding a running back to the formation, to the group, to the system, just to kind of give us a guy who can get some dependable yards in certain situations. I love what Kareem Hunt done. Hopefully they can find a way to bring him back. But things would have had to look different either way it goes. So I'm just glad that we learned this lesson earlier. Who knows? We could have a chance to quest for another three-peat if we play our cards right for the future. So it's a tall challenge. Knowing what's going around in the league right now, and it's so much parity with all these different quarterbacks and different coaches and guys moving around. We got new coaches and assistants in different places now coming up, and some teams are excited about trying to take off, and we still got our division rivals. So definitely gonna be some work to be done in the off season. But I've seen Veach do better with less. So I'm excited to see what he does and who he brings in. Hopefully he can get some guy a real star next to Chris Jones. I know we have good players, but I think you want to take advantage of a guy like Chris Jones as much as you can, and I think bringing another dynamic defensive lineman in will help. You also want to think about corner. I think we're fine at safety. You don't have to bring Justin Reed back. I love Jaden Hicks. I think he's one of the stars of this defense. He's going to be a star in this league. Trent McDuffie has already proven himself. Leo Chanel's of amongst a few. Drew Tranquil's already signed here. The only thing is, do they bring Nick Bolton back or not? I really hope they do, just to continue to keep the defense and solid in communication. He's made certain plays. He was great in the Super Bowl. He missed a couple alleys and stuff, but other than that, he showed well. Was able to guard Saquon in the flats. Came up and made some tackles. Done what Nick Bolton does all season. I don't see any reason to move off a guy like that unless he's just seriously hurt all the time. He did get hurt a little bit last season, and he missed a few games. But other than that, he's been consistent in our defense, and we need a guy like that if we're going to continue to try to win big. Um, I do think we have to get younger in certain spaces, but it's gonna be a challenge. Getting the team back like we had. I know we have some guys banged up and stuff, but for us to not really have a left tackle all year and win 15 games, only lost once. If you want to count the different game, screw you. But I mean, it was a great year, man. You came up short in the biggest moment, and short as you can be, I guess. But other than that, the guys had a great year. I was always excited to be a part of Chiefs Kingdom. Talking with you guys and talking to the people who's watching, the viewers, everybody at home. We appreciate you always. Chiefs Kingdom, we'll be back. I know it's tough to watch that and see that in your team and get back out, root. But we've seen worse here, especially before Pat. So I know it's something to hang our heads on, but I have no doubt about, our quarterback and our franchise and our head coach, and our leaders in our franchise and our organization, are gonna make sure that we get what we need to make sure that we go forward. So, just tough couple of months, but hang in there. Combine coming up. Draft eventually will come, and we'll be right back rocking in no time. But in the meantime, in between time, just appreciate what you had, man. Like you still have one of the best, if not the best, organization in football. 5 years, 3 rings. Been to the AFC Championship 7 straight times. Only lost in the AFC Championship in overtime. Um, Lost in the Super Bowl twice, won 3 of them. And his kid is only 29. What he's done for this city, what he's done for this sport, can never, it's already written. So, with his story, is still along a couple, way more chapters to go. So I'm excited about this next chapter for our team, for Patrick Mahomes. I know it's going to be a lot different than what we've seen, but I have no doubt about what this organization can accomplish.
Yeah, the future is still definitely bright. Like you said, they still what they have at receiver right now, the youth movement that they have at receiver, and also the youth movement on the defensive side of the ball as well too. That 22 class, still very young, still but also experienced at this point. I think I know a lot of people are talking that the dynasty is over and that Chiefs
That
are done.
makes me happy.
Yeah,
That makes me
and
happy.
it's like it makes me laugh because y'all did the same thing after the Tampa Bay Super Bowl, and then it
Mm.
was over, and the Chiefs won't ever see a Super Bowl again, and then they win two more after that. So, I just think the way that this organization has been operating, they're obviously not done at this point. Yes, it's a devastating loss, but like I said, through all those devastating losses they have taken, change has come about in some form or fashion. So I fully expect Brett Veach and them to attack the offseason in a way where it may not be next year that you make it back or whatever. It's always hard to get back to the Super Bowl. To make it back 3 straight times is
You
damn
better
near
than me because I already put
impossible.
my money on it, brother.
But and I wouldn't be surprised if they made it back. But at the same time, it's like I said, you got to go through the whole season, make it significant injuries,
Yeah,
things of that nature, and how you play, scheduling, stuff like that, or whatever. That all factors into it. So that's why I always just say is like it's a hope that you make it back, because there's no guarantees ever in this sport. But I do believe that the Chiefs are going to continuously be one of the top contenders in this league year in and year out. As long as you have 15 back there controlling the helm, I still think you're going to be in conversations year in and year out. It's not going away anytime soon. And I just think it's they're going to figure out a way to fix this offensive line. Um,
that's the number
there's some
one priority.
questions. Yeah, going into this off season. The first thing I did kind of want to get to is what do you think their plan is moving forward with Trey Smith?
I know a lot of people think that he's just going to be out of the building. I don't feel that way. He is a guy that you can franchise tag. I think his price tag will maybe be a little bit under 18, 19, something like that if you do move forward with that, which is not the best situation, but I mean, and unless you have a legit plan, like Trey Smith was one of the anchors of our offensive line with him, Creed, and obviously Joe Thuney, next to each other, best interior in football. With him out the picture, obviously, you have to either draft a guy or you have to find a guy in free agency or be, willing to pick up a guy from a trade or something like that. Unlikely situations, you probably always want to go young in those type of situations, especially for health wise. Like you don't want to get an older vet and then he gets injured and you don't really have any solutions there. So they're probably going to go young if Trey Smith, does happen to walk. But I do think that we probably seen the last of him here, just because he'll be a very high market free agent just coming up. I think he's going to be one of the top free agents in this market.
Yeah.
And just what he's able to do on a football field, I think, GMs are going to be willing to overpay for it. And they don't want to see him back with the Chiefs anyway. So you know what it is.
Yeah, yeah. I think his market value is right now at like 20 million a year. They
Mm.
got him at like a 4 year, 80 million, close to a 19.7
Mhm.
million is what I'm reading right now. which is pretty pricey.
Yeah.
If you ask Ray reaching them, my expectation, if they can't get something done with Trey Smith, I would obviously assume that they'll probably tag him and trade him. Kind of how they handled the same similar situation with Snead last year when he
Hmm.
was ready to get paid.
They get higher value for Trey Smith for sure, though.
Yeah, yeah, with him being a young, right, All Pro, second team All Pro guard.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I would expect that they would probably get a decent pick, picks from that. Probably even maybe close to the second round or something
Second
like
round
that.
guy, yeah. I can
Yeah,
see a second round pick for Trey. That'll be good, especially for us. We could use that for sure because that could get us a guy. So if we don't, that's not in my favor. I hope we can do everything we can to keep him here. I think he's a terrific player. I think he's solidified himself as one of the best guards in the game. You can see that on the game field. He did get blew up in the Super Bowl. He had some bad games in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, but I think for the most part, he's been very consistent with his play. A mean guard, get after you in the run game, also get after you in the pass game. Very can get outside, very athletic, kind of quick. To be a lineman, uses arms, uses hands very well, very physical. So wishing him best for him if he's not in a Chiefs uniform, but if he is. I know he'd be excited. Maybe we can work something out with him. He take a team friendly deal or something, but we'll see how it goes.
yeah, yeah. I like I've been telling people, I'm already expecting that he's probably gonna price himself out of here. I
Uh,
can't really blame him at this point. You're
yeah.
25 years old. You played as well as you have, won two Super Bowls. Um, I would expect you to try to
I
go
think
get
that's
back
his first loss in
in.
the playoffs.
That is his first loss. That's crazy. Yeah,
First loss
yeah,
in.
first loss in the playoffs, man. Incredible. Well, no, was he here for the Cincy game? No, he wasn't. He wasn't on that line, was he?
Mm-mm. He wasn't here yet. We still had
We got him in the 2022
2022 draft. That was he was a part of that class. Trey Smith, McDuffie.
Duffy. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, great draft. But yeah, that's what gives me ultimate confidence. Is that these last couple of years, the way Brett Veach and them have attacked the draft, they've clearly been able to bring in players that have been able to contribute early. And I know a lot of people have certain criticisms of certain players and how much they actually have contributed, but I feel like they've gotten guys that have done their part in certain areas or whatever. You may not get everybody to be a Pro Bowler or to
Everybody
be
but
an All
Mike
Pro.
Callie and he's horrible. I don't want
Yeah,
to see
but
him.
that's a street free agent pickup right there. So yeah, the I fully expected the plan that next year will be different, especially at the
Uh,
guard
I
position. I
I
think
do
Tui
hope
is
that
probably gonna be moved back inside. So
yeah. I think we'll I think that's probably the first thing you'll see if once that free agency market opens is re-signing Thuney. And then we'll move him to guard permanently, and then obviously all it will be for real is about them either finding a vet that they like or a guy that's been in the league a few years that they like. I hear that DJ Humphries wants to come and compete, maybe get healthy and see what he can do. That could be a move, or also finding someone from a team that's coming up in free agency. I hear a few left tackles that are pretty good, so that really just depends on which way Veach wants to go. But I do think after watching that Super Bowl that there's no way that he comes out thinking like I need to shore up my O line. I think that that's the number one priority for Veach. I know all the receiver stuff and talk is cool, but I think we really have what we got in our receiver room. I wouldn't be mad if they added a guy or two,
yeah,
but I really like what we got with in Rice and Worthy. We see if we can bring Hollywood back. I would not be mad at that. I thought Hollywood was getting open all night. We just couldn't get him the ball either. He really showed well in the offense. He just didn't have enough games to actually show his efficiency and what he could actually do throughout a season. So I think they'll be interested in that relationship a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. But the offensive line is just my number one thing right now. I'm not really worried about the receiver stuff part. We have Patrick Mahomes as our quarterback. He's one of one. So I'm really just concerned about the O line and making sure that we don't have a situation to where we have to do anything like that again because it did not pan out well.
Yeah. The offensive line to me is the main priority. I would put offensive line probably. I do think I've been saying it for a while. They need a weapon at running back, and they need a legit dynamic weapon at running back.
Yeah,
Um, they
Travion
can't go into
Henderson,
next
Ohio State, baby.
somebody, anybody that can give you some kind of juice out of the backfield. I love Pop. I love what Kareem. What they both do for this team. But there are points and times where I think you need a guy that can house it from 60 yards, 50 yards at those nature, those points. Just as um, it gives you another dynamic piece out there to kind of alleviate the pressure off of Patrick Mahomes and what he has to do from points in time. So put dynamic running back. Then um, I do believe they need to find another edge. Um, you need another piece at that position. Somebody, preferably, I wish it'd be somebody that could win quickly.
Yeah, speed rush
Especially,
guy. I wouldn't be mad
yeah,
at that. Like we
I
don't
know.
have any. Well, Josh Uche's on the team, but we didn't want to use him for some reason. Still don't understand that. Uh, I wish I knew the language that they were speaking so I could pick it up. But he was a guy I thought we could have used, but it's what it is. The defense played well anyway, so it wasn't like we were missing much or needing much. But sure would have been exciting that because we did trade for him at the end of the day. But that's another story for a different day. It would be exciting to get a younger guy coming off the edge, someone with a little bit of juice, who has some strength, some power, isn't easily fooled by tricks, and can pay attention to get off the ball quick, like you said, and provide that pressure for us to put on the line with Chris Jones if that's not a veteran guy that we like or a bigger name. I'm not interested in the small market guys anymore. I mean, they contribute when they contribute, but I think when you got a team like this, just with guys like this on your team, just try to maximize it as much as possible. I think Beach is just gonna have to be in the spending money business this summer, this spring, this winter, whatever you want to say. I hopefully got his eyes peeled back, and I know we're gonna make some moves here, but I just want to see exactly how we pan this out, especially with the offensive line, like you said, maybe losing Trey Smith. Um, Having to bring Thuney back obviously is going to be the first thing that they do, and then I would expect to hear that news more than anything once free agency opens up, and then we'll see what they do as far as keeping Trey Smith, or like you said, I think he'll probably get tagged and traded more than likely. They'll probably ended up tagging him and then giving him that same permission that they did L'Jarius Sneed to where go out and find us somebody. If they
Yeah,
can't find it within that time frame, then you'll come back on that year on that franchise and play on it, which I wouldn't be mad at. That'll give us a little bit more time to make some decisions there, but
right,
as far as left tackle wise, you have to find a left tackle. Like that has to be a priority. And I can't stress that enough. Like we need a left tackle. This is Trent Williams' fault, really. He should have just came here. Good.
yeah, yeah. It would have been definitely nice to have Trent Williams here at some point. But yeah, my cat
You good.
frozen. My back.
Uh, you're getting there. You're getting there. It's moving. You ain't back here quite. All right, you're back.
My
You're back.
back. Oh, my bad, yeah. Had to pull out another tab off one thing. But anyway, yeah. Um, so you was talking about Tooney. Tooney's still actually under contract for next year as well too. I think they got actually restructure him and get some money if he would like to help the team out. I think he's due for a restructure.
Man,
Jawan
that
Taylor
boy
can
got millions put up. He better do something.
Jawan Taylor can be restructured. Also Mahomes as well. I think the biggest piece we probably got to talk about this offseason, we got a little bit of news today. It was with 87, Travis Kelsey, on this podcast today. Um, kind of hinted at maybe being done here. So
I didn't catch that clip.
yeah, it's a little bit wild. He said he's gonna take some time to make his decision. obviously. So I wouldn't assume we'd get anything immediately, but probably something closer maybe to around draft time we start finding out if he's actually going to play next year. In your opinion, where do you think life is with Travis Kelsey, and where do you go with life after Travis Kelsey?
Life with Travis Kelsey is amazing. Anyone who says different is a complete idiot. We're talking about a guy who's not only been, obviously we see the relationship off the field with him and Pat, but we see the relationship on the field throughout the years. I mean, we've been blessed to watch these two guys go at it. I know he's a little older, he's not drumming the hitting the drum like everybody wants him to, but just his importance to this team and being able to settle guys in certain moments. I know he didn't have his best game well, nobody had their best game Super Bowl Sunday, but I think just life without like Travis Kelsey would mean that you would have to go out and get a guy. The reason why Rice was able to be open and get underneath and do some of the things he was doing when we first got him is because Travis Kelsey's on the field. The reason why Zay is able to get some of those one-on-one matchups and be able to be one-on-one with safeties and beat corners on certain routes is because most of that attention is on 87. I think the wear and tear on his body is probably, giving him that clue, but I just don't. If anything, I think he goes one more year. I would be shocked if that's his last game. That Super Bowl. I wouldn't be mad because I mean he's been nothing short of great. Always he's the best tight end to ever play the game in my eyes. I'm not really. I don't care about Gronk. I watch Gronk. He could not do what I've seen Travis Kelsey do as far as being a pass catching tight end. I'm sorry. I think it's neck and neck for them or some people, but for me. Travis Kelsey's just different, dog. I'm gonna shed a tear that day. It will be a sad day, if he decide to hang it up. I'm just gonna cry and watch Kelsey highlights until I feel better.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Life without Travis Kelsey definitely gonna be tough, but you could clearly tell this year that that wear and tear is obviously starting to catch up when you're playing three extra games a year
Every
more
year.
than everybody else. And I think he kind of hinted at that today on his podcast. Basically saying that it's not a mental thing of he doesn't want to play anymore, but I think it's more of a physical thing, getting your body ready, putting yourself trying to be the best every day. That can become physically exhausting at points. And obviously, we see him off the field. He's got certain things going on, certain really good things going on for him off the field as well too, that he
Absolutely.
can be focusing on. So, um, I don't. I'm in the same opinion as you. I don't think he's done. I don't think that's his last game.
Nah.
But I do believe possibly next year is going to be the farewell tour
Yeah.
for Travis Kelsey for sure.
He'll let it be known, like
Mhm.
when he comes out and says, "Nah, I'm not going out." Like I know he's not gonna go out like that, and I think, but I will think that he will make this clear, to the Chiefs, and obviously the Chiefs probably already know that this year coming up is probably gonna be his last year as an NFL
Yeah,
player. So they will make it a good one, man. That's why I have no doubt about us being back in that Super Bowl and making it right because you wonder if you gonna ride it out with A7 and what he's been able to do. I still think he can come on this team and contribute. A lot of people like to do analytics, and all this stuff. I think Robert Griffin, the NFL quarterback, said it the best. Numbers are like, when the girl, pulls up the skirt, she's not quite naked yet. You can't really see anything. It looks good. It almost looks like it feels good, but it's a little different, And I think just Travis Kelsey being on that field and being able to be a main focus on these defenses with him being 34, 35 years old really helped us out a lot through these last couple of years. And people don't understand his impact, but if he retires, they definitely will. And the Chiefs are going to find a star, whether that's at receiver or running back. They're going to find someone who's dynamic because you can't leave a guy like Travis Kelsey off and then wonder where their attention is going to go to
yeah,
Rice, to Worthy, to the other guys. Obviously, you don't have to worry about Travis Kelsey anymore. So those threats become a little bit more understandable, if that makes sense. It comes a little bit more schemable, if that makes sense, when 87 is not on the field or not in the game plan.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so obviously, before we get out of here, um, going into next season, what would you say is something you're probably looking forward to going into next season after coming off of this Super Bowl loss?
Revenge tour. Uh,
You won back
after
to back. You win the three. You
after,
on revenge now?
and this is why I say that, because when we lost, the whole NFL showed their ass.
Mm,
Jamar Chase posting, Chauncey Gardner mentioning Kelsey's ex, a lot of NFL players talking crazy.
yeah.
And I know 15 and the guys seen that.
Mhm.
So I think the parody is like people, oh, the Chiefs lost the dynasty over. Okay. We hear the talk, we see the talk. So going into next year, I just want them to be all about business, like all about business. I thought Patrick Mahomes did a little bit too much before that Super Bowl. Like I love the confidence, but if you're gonna make a post like that, like he made before, with that um Meet Your Destiny, that post he made on his Instagram, you better show up and play. So he better be ready to right that wrong, because that's not something that I know mentally that he thinks about. He made a bold statement wearing that eagle green again, wearing that good old green, posting that on Instagram. And I know he's a petty guy and he likes to get the opponents going in his own way. And I know he's a fierce competitor, but you got to show up in those moments. So I'm looking forward to those guys sending Travis Kelsey out the way he deserves. I thought if we would have won a three-peat, I thought for sure he would have retired.
Yeah,
I
most
thought
definitely.
that was his plan. I could see it all over his outfit. It just, him and Taylor Swift walking off the field and Nola together his last game, and he three-peats, and obviously he would have told us, that was he was done. But I think with that happening, that kind of factors in, and um, even if he does come back, I think they still add some dynamic pieces. But I would love to ride it out with A7 one more time and send him out a Super Bowl champion, a four-time champ, like he deserves to be, man. So hopefully we can do that for him. And I'm looking forward to next year. I know it's a long year. I know it's a long battles we got to fight. No, we still got to get through the division. We still got to get through, all that stuff and have a good record to see if we can get the one seed again or see if we can make it to the playoffs again. But if we get to the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure we will, I know that the guys are going to be on the hunt again. So it's good that we have a little bit more motivation going into this year. It's not like the guys are just high off a three-peat now. They hearts are broke, so I got a lot of work to do. So my biggest thing is just coming into the year just all about business, making sure we handle the left tackle situation, the offensive line in general. That's really what I want to see. And then I think I have no doubt about what Veach can do and who he can bring to this team, but we got to be all about business, man. Straight about football. Make sure we get it done, and I have no doubt where we'll be this time next year.
Yeah, yeah. I'm at this. I'm at the same point as you. I'm excited to see them get the explosion back into their offense. Hopefully next year, um, be able to get able to get Hollywood Brown back, have Xavier Worthy, Rasheed Rice. If we can get that trio next year, I really think that they can do some really dynamic things with this offense, especially with fixing the offensive line as well too. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited for the grind and the process. These type of things when they happen, when you lose like this, they motivate you extremely, and it's humbling at the same time. So I think that whole front office, from the front office to the locker room to the whole organization, is humbled at this point, and then they know what they have to do to climb that mountaintop and get back there again. So I'm excited to see where they go from this. We got the combine around the corner later on this month, so we'll be definitely back for that as well too. I'm not really sure when our actual next episode will be. I kind of tend to think that the guys probably need a little bit of a break or
Yeah, we'll
whatever.
be
After this.
active. I'll be definitely active. You'll see me post here and there with some clips and just checking in on Chiefs Kingdom. And I know you guys are gonna be itching for some football, so we'll look at draft picks and free agencies that we can bring in. Hopefully we'll get some news about Kelsey and re-signing Thuney and all that stuff will come about. So whenever that stuff happens and we get some news, we'll definitely be on here. We'll definitely make sure you guys know about it.
Yep. Combine, like I said, coming up soon, February 27th, I believe. The new league year starts March 13th. So it's gonna move pretty quickly here or whatever. But Arrowhead PM will always be here to discuss and break down for you guys. Free agency moves, draft, and everything in between. So yeah, man, it's tough way to go out for this season, but at the same time, lesson learned, and I fully believe that Brett Veach and this organization will do the necessary things to try to keep this championship window open and try to keep this dynasty alive and going. So
Yes, sir.
can't lose faith at this point. Or there, as long as you got 15, I feel like you're in the conversation year in and year out. So
Absolutely.
yeah, man. We appreciate y'all, Chiefs Kingdom, man. Like I said, not sure when exactly we'll be back with our next episode, but appreciate you guys being here tonight, supporting. Follow us on Twitter at Arrowhead AM and PM. Also, get the podcast anywhere you can get podcasts: Apple, Spotify, Tidal, and any other podcast platform. We are on YouTube, Facebook, anything of that nature. So we always appreciate you guys for supporting. For DG, my guy Trizzy,
Appreciate
we
y'all.
are out. Chiefs Kingdom, we love y'all. Peace.
Love y'all, Chiefs. Go Chiefs.
I put it all on my shoulders. Give 100 till it's over. I told you.